The cars are lining up ready to go out onto the grid for the final race of the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. This race sees groups A and C racing together. Stephen Daly on pole position looks certain for the win, but Ian Jones and Matt Parks behind are going to be really close. It's over to Andy McEwan to take you through the rest of the grid.
Yeah, thanks very much, Lloyd. Here's how they line up then. Daly and Jones on row 1 with Matt Parks and Gordon McMillan on row 2. Tom Griffiths and David May make up the third row of the grid. Then it's Liam McGill and Mike Doble, Alan Caulfield and Craig Jameson, with Mikey Doble and Tim Scott Andrews rounding out the top dozen. Row 7 for Andrew Prince and Aaron Morgan. Row 8, Andy Butterworth and Martin Gadsby. And row 9 for Brendan Murphy and Nick Edmond. Then at the back of the grid, Andrew Woodbine, Simon Welch and Phil Sharp round out the 21 cars. So, Owen Hunter has amassed a total of 284 points up to this point of the season, but he is not out in this race. Stephen Daly is out for the second time, though, and starts from pole position, and he gets the lead down towards the first corner fairly comfortably. There's Simon Welch getting boxed in further down the order, but that means that basically 36 points is the target for this race for Steve Daly if he wants to hang on to the championship lead. But Millen there getting squeezed onto the grass on the run towards turn number 1. On board with Simon Welch, that's Andrew Woodbine in front of us in the car that very nearly won last year's championship and did win the 2016 championship in the hands of James Gornall, running in front. But James has gone off to do other things this year. One of the things racing in the Mini Challenge. And best of luck to him. He was a fierce competitor in the Compact Cup. But it's good to see that there are plenty of other fierce competitors out there as well. Tom Griffiths, one of them, as he tried to go to the inside of David May there. Couldn't quite make it work into Park corner. Simon Welch will be back on board with here though as he chases down Andrew Woodbine. Well, yes, there is Stephen Daly then. Jones in second place, Parks third, May fourth and Griffiths fifth. And so yeah, Stephen Daly after race 1 was on 248 points, which is 36 less than Owen Hunter is on. But of course Owen Hunter's done an extra race. Owen sits this one out. Stephen therefore gets a chance to take some points back, and it should all equal itself out over the course of the day. That's how this split grid format works basically. Although there is an extra race, everyone still only races twice. It's just they're not always racing with each other. This time around though, Daly has got Ian Jones and Matt Parks, as Lloyd was saying before the race, to contend with, and they're both very quick. Matt Parks a race winner already this year, Ian Jones a winner in the past. There's Tom Griffiths looking for his first ever win in the championship, running in 5th place ahead of Liam McGill and Gordon McMillan 6th and 7th. Drop their way down towards Barn Corner for the first time of asking. Alan Caulfield not far back either, having a decent run inside the top 10. The purple and white car just there as they head out of the final turn and back along the pit straight, and side by side potentially there between McMillan and McGill. McMillan on the inside line in towards turn number 1, hangs on to the position, and no change in the order therefore for the time being. On board with Stephen Daly looking back into the distance already at the chasing pack. He's really getting away from the cars behind him. This is one of the closest battles on track there between McMillan and McGill as they head down the park straight through the dip, climbing up the hill. And is the door going to be left open on the inside maybe by Liam McGill to allow the slightly more experienced Gordon McMillan on the inside? Gordon is thinking about it, he's thinking about it, he's doing more than thinking about it, he's going for it. He gets the door open, but then can he hang tough on the inside in towards Chris Curve? No, is the answer to that question. And McGill hangs on. Peter Daly down towards the gooseneck. Brilliant camera footage as ever from the KC Motorsport driver and the reigning champion. They say that you're mad to come back and try and defend a championship that you've won for the first time, because you are then the man with the target on your back. But Stephen's been doing a really good job this year of winning races, and he won the first 2 races of the season back at Brands Hatch. Won a race last time out at Snetterton, but of course had to finish second to Owen Hunter in the previous race. But that's what Daly does so well. When he can't win, he finishes second, and he very rarely finishes any lower than second. It's very, very rare these days to see Stephen Daly off the podium, and it's that consistency that will enable you to fight for championships, and in his case last season win championships. Out of the final turn goes Tom Griffiths, and there Gordon McMillan, GMAC, as it says on his rear window. Alan Caulfield next in line, and then I think that's Mike Doble, Mikey Doble, excuse me, in the 88 car, not far behind. Yes, it is. Oh, sorry, no, no, it's not. It is 65, Mike Doble. I was right the first time. I knew it was one of the Dobles. There's Alan Caulfield. he is wrestling with that number 14 car as it comes out of Charlie's, back along the back straight. There is Mike Doble, father, I believe, of Mikey. Caulfield, though, what can he do? The Jigsaw Marquis car defending from the cars behind as it makes its way up towards the right-hander at Park. Trim hanging off the front of Doble Senior's car, but he won't worry too much about that. Won't even be aware of it, I'm sure. Caulfield will just be focusing on road in front for the time being. He's not having to defend too heavily for the time being. You can see there's a few car lengths gap between the two of them as they drop down out of Gooseneck and into Mansfield. Car behind is 82, applying the pressure, which is Craig Jameson. Who's another one of the fairly experienced drivers in the field. He's dipped in and out of the championship for a few years now. There he goes, and then Mikey Doble is next in line. So looking towards the Hall Bend, where we've seen all sorts of drama this weekend, and those proper markers again have not lasted beyond the first lap. Senior actually, far from applying the pressure to Alan Caulfield, is really coming under pressure now from Craig Jameson behind. Craig is looking a little bit quicker at this stage of the race. Heads out to the final turn, along the pit straight again, which again you can see there is curved, it's not straight at all. And then around to the completion of another lap, ticking towards half race distance in what is the third 15-minute race of the weekend. There's Ian Jones running in second position. So he, remember, is in this battle with Matt Parks. They are 2 points apart for third in the championship in Jones's favour. He's ahead of him in this race as well. So things looking good for Ian Jones at the moment. Matt Parks has been there or thereabouts all year long, really. Wasn't that far off the pace at Brands Hatch. Really found the pace at Snetterton. And that race victory, his first ever race victory, was really sweet moment down in the south of England, at the opposite end of the country. He's still running well in third place, and these are the days where, you know, if you can't win the race, you just have to salvage whatever points you can get and live to fight another day. You never know what might be around the corner. You could arrive at the next round of the championship, and Steve Daly could have an absolute nightmare. You could have non-finishes, you could have penalties. That really ruins your championship if you have penalties, because can't count them as your drop scores. If you're disqualified from a race, you can't count as one of your drop scores. It pretty much immediately takes you out of the title hunt. So you've got to try and keep it clean wherever you can. That can happen, and indeed has happened. Of course, last year James Gordon was on the receiving end of a penalty late on in the season that cost him the title. So Stephen Daly across the start-finish line, just measuring this gap at the moment between himself and Ian Jones, who he's been caught slightly by Matt Parks in third. David May is still fourth, with Tom Griffiths rounding out the top five. Right back and Daly. Really see the inclines here in the circuit. Then you drop down the other side as well out of Charlie's. Such a spectacular place as Cadwell Park, arguably the most spectacular circuit to drive in the country. It is full commitment all the way around, so demanding, so easy to make a mistake, and the cost of making a mistake around here far greater than it would be at most other circuits where you've got tarmac on areas or at least gravel traps to catch you. Around here, on a gravel trap in sight alone, acres of tarmac on area to green astroturf. You go off here, you're on the grass and in the barriers. With the KC Motorsport car of Stephen Daly dropping its way down the hill. Simon Welch on board with now, looking forwards. Had a few interesting on board from him already in this race, particularly at the start of it. It's not calmed down all that much either as the race goes on. That's Andrew Woodbine behind him, followed by Brendan Murphy, who was on retirement early on in race one. With Welch though, as we go up the hill, trying to be on the tack and on the defence as well, trying to find a way past the 22 car he is of Nick Edmond. Behind Brendan Murphy and Andrew Woodbine side by side. Murphy on the inside line, goes through, and possibly that could allow Phil Sharp through as well, which I think it has. Phil Sharp, who started at the back of the grid. Down through the dip they go, in towards the left-hander at Mansfield, and almost a chance on the inside there for Simon. In fact, there might be, because the the 22 machine runs out a bit wide on the exit of the corner there, and Nick Edmond nearly hands the place straight back over on the run towards the mountain. These three right on top of each other though as they turn through the left, climb so steeply uphill, then another climb uphill through the right-hander, and Welch is much quicker off the corner, doesn't bother going to the inside, goes to the outside instead. There's almost been a contact between the two of them. In fact, I think they did trade paint there. No, still no way through for Simon Welch. Car with the purple front wheels, white rear wheels, another distinctive looking car out there on the grid. Just can't find a way past Nick Edmond for the time being. Nick Edmond running within the Masters portion of the race for the slightly more mature racers, or experienced racers, let's say. And Simon Welch trying to find a way past him. Side by side further up the road, look, and that is Liam sorry, it's not Liam McGill, it is Craig Jameson, side by side with Mike Doble Senior, who's been on the defence right from the word go in this race, really, doing a good job to keep everybody behind him thus far. Mikey Doble is in there as well now, and the 82 car of Jameson weaving this way and that as he tries to find a way through down towards Mansfield, just can't quite do it. Back out towards the mountain section they go once again, and they hit the brakes, they fling it through the left, they fling it through the right, but it's so tempting because it's steeply uphill to carry that bit more speed into the corner than you should. Bit of a moment there for Jameson. Does that give Mikey Doble a chance? Not into the Hall bends, it doesn't. It smells blood in the water. Maybe Jameson is just struggling with handling of his car slightly now. And there is the possibility for the place to change hands back into the hairpin, into barn corner once again. About 11 minutes down in this 15-minute race. There's still time for a few more laps. We've had 9 laps in the first race. We would have got 9 laps in race 2, but that was flagged a little bit early. And expect somewhere in that region in this third race of the weekend. So Andy Caulfield will be right on board with again. Fight for second place, heating up slightly here between Ian Jones and Matt Parks. Ian Jones is on the grass and Parks sees a gap up the inside into Chris Curve. No, couldn't do it. Ian Jones, the momentum is always with the driver on the outside there, it seems, as strange as that may sound. But Ian Jones just couldn't find a way through. So, sorry, Parks actually couldn't find a way through. Ian Jones hanging on to this second place really well at the moment, and as well he might want to, because if they were to finish the other way around, they would be tied on points again for third in the championship, leaving Cadwell Park as they were arriving at Cadwell Park, these two. Whereas if it finishes as it is now, Jones will have a 4-point advantage for third. Of course, won't be a million miles behind Owen Hunter either. Back through the Hall Bend sequence of corners they go again, and on to what could potentially be the final lap. May get 2 more in, we'll wait and see. Parks though, findmycar.co.uk sponsored car, heads through, and the leader sees the last lap board, so we will have 1 more lap to go, and Stephen Daly is leading the way fairly handsomely in this one. He looks good for a race victory, what would be his 4th race victory of the year, but he's not had it all his own way this weekend. And the championship margin is going to come down because Owen Hunter, as well as winning the last race, also set the fastest lap, so he took 3 points out of Daly essentially in that one. So the gap is definitely coming down. It was 17 points coming into the weekend. This win for Stephen Daly put him just 14 points ahead. 15 points ahead going into the next rounds of the championship. Down towards the right-left of the gooseneck he comes for the final time, and he'll be enjoying this final lap around Cadwell Park. Does not look like he's going to be headed in this one, and this has been a much more Stephen Daly-esque performance. It's worth saying, though, that if Owen Hunter had been in this race, I don't think he would have had it his own way. We commented at the start of the season that even if Daly ran away with it, at least Owen Hunter and Ian Jones would give us something to get excited about. Well, Owen seems to have taken a further step up since then. So although it's Daly that's going to win this race, it is Hunter who will have scored more points this weekend. So the championship situation continues to twist and turn, and I think it will do right the way down to the final rounds of the championship. So into the final couple of corners comes Stephen Daly, the final lap of racing here at Cadwell Park for the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup, excuse me. and Stephen Daly is going to take win number 4 of 2018. He comes out to the final corner, he sees the checkered flag, and he wins race number 3 here at Cadwell Park. Stephen Daly victorious. Second place will go to Ian Jones, who flashes the hazard lights in celebration. Confirmation of the result then. Stephen Daly wins from Ian Jones in second and Matt Parks third, David May fourth and Tom Griffiths fifth. Then it's Liam McGill, Gordon McMillan, Mike Doble, Craig Jameson and Mikey Doble rounds out the top 10. Then it's Andrew Prince and Andy Butterworth in 12th this time, ahead of Tim Scott Andrews and Martin Gadsby. Then Nick Edmonds, Simon Welch, Brendan Murphy, Phil Sharp and Andrew Woodbine round out the finishers. We lost Alan Caulfield and we also lost Aaron Morgan.
Stephen, congratulations on your win. It's been a good weekend for you.
Yeah, fantastic weekend. Pole this morning, got second in race 1 with Owen Hunter winning that. Owen drove fantastic, so I'm quite happy with finishing second there. I felt I had something to prove in that second race to myself because I knew I had the pace to win the first race, so I mean I had to go out there and just do it. So I'm quite happy with the way I performed myself there, so quite happy. That was another tough fought race, but congratulations on your second place.
Yep, second again, leader got away, but had a good tussle with Matt Parks at the end. He almost had me. I think one more lap, I'd have been in a lot of trouble.
Well, that wraps up the action here at Cadwell Park, where Stephen Daly extends his lead in the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. Hopefully you can join us next time where the racing action takes place in Castle Coombe.